Alright, back for PSGL Round 5 around Las Vegas, and we start with our qualifying lap. Nice apex, we're up on our delta into our final run, going into the tricky slow section. Very hard to get the front turned in, cut a bit too much curb there, but we try and get on the power as early as we can, as we are now 3 temps up on the exit. This is a great lap so far, looking for a top 3 as into the next left-hander we go. Do we hook it up? Very important to get a good exit onto the back straight. We do, very nice exit. We're 3.5 temps up, down onto the back straight. This is looking a good lap so far. As we open the DRS and down into the next corner. And we go a bit wide into the next corner and we invalidate our lap. So now we are going to be starting from P10 on the grid after a poor final corner. Where would a 4 temps fit me? I lost 2 temps there. Well, 4 temps to my lap. I would have done a 31.8, right? I'm on a slight back. As onto the race we go. We are starting on the hard compound tyre, trying to go long into the stint. 5 red lights, and away we go. Decent launch off the line as we go down into turn 1. What's going to happen into turn 1? Car decides to go down our inside. Okay then. Bit of contact. They go 3 wide, and and we've got damage. What am I meant to do? Not much we could do to avoid that incident. We just get pinched, sent up the inside. So we're trying to go for a move on Schmegger.
Hard.
Down the inside and into the next right hander, and there's a big crash. Hugo's in the wall and he's out of the race.
Okay,
This gives us a free pit stop onto the medium compound tyre.
Box, don't crush.
However, we have cut the line, which should be a 5-second penalty at the end of the race. So this has been a shocking start as the new front wing goes on. We slot in just behind the Red Bull. Down to P14 with a long way left to go in this race. As we head on to the end of lap 2. As there's a laggy car and someone's in the wall on the pit entry. It's easy to do.
Stay in position until the green flags.
Moving on to the end of lap 3, the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap, and it's go. It's an early start. And we've been caught off guard a little bit as we go down into turn 1.
Safety car has not come in.
As the Red Bull
overtake.
has gone a bit slowly, and
safety car's not come in.
the safety car has not come in. Complete game bug.
Don't overtake.
Very confusing.
1 hour later.
So we now head on to the end of lap 4, and the safety car has come in this time. Up to P11. Going to try and get a run on Tadpole out of this corner, out the exit on the medium compound tyres. We're going to turn on our overtake, but we don't want to drain too much of our battery, as it's so important around this track to keep your battery levels high. As Tadpole's looking for a move, but he runs a bit wide, and we are going to take advantage of this and decide to go up the inside, get a good traction early on the power, and try and have a run at Samuel Olea up ahead. Trying to make our moves back up to the top after a poor opening lap and a poor qualifying. So we're going to have a little look down the inside. We can't make a move just yet. Samuel is on the hard compound tyre, so we need to get past quickly. We're going to have a little look up the inside, but we're not close enough to go alongside. So we're going to try and prepare our exits, try and get better traction out of the corner on the fresh tyres, trying to go for a move. We have a full battery available to us for this long next straight. Try and make our way up to P9. As we close under braking, Get nice traction out of the corner, and we're going to tuck into the slipstream on the long back straight, the Las Vegas straight, reaching up to 200 mile an hour as we go for the overtake around the outside. However, since the straight is so long, he's going to come back at us into the second part of the straight, but we're going to deploy some more battery and keep ahead into the braking zone, and that is P9. As now we look forward up to Schmeger, who is one of our championship rivals, but he makes a little mistake into the left-hander, and we are going to try and take advantage of this. Good exit, get tuck into the slipstream and use our battery to try and get the move done on Schmeger. Down the inside we go, along the long back straight, and that move should be done and dusted. Even though Schmeger's trying to come back at us and we have to deploy some more battery, we're going to keep the move as we are far enough ahead into the braking zone. And we are now going after P6 of Smoker up ahead. Moving on to the start of lap 8 as we make a little mistake. And this is not looking good for us, as we make an even bigger mistake and we lose the car completely in the right-hander. And this is not looking good for us, as we are losing time to the cars ahead. Our tyres may be starting to go off as Samuels looks for a move down the inside. We try and leave the room, but he's not far enough alongside and has to back out, as we are going to push forward as we start to gain some time on the cars ahead. Onto lap 10. Through the chicane, and there's yellow flags. There's yellow flags on the exit, and Snow, the first in the championship, has spun. He's got wing damage, and it's going to be a full safety car. So we are going to pit for the medium compound tyres and make it to the end of the race from here. However, into the pit lane, we are going to get held up by our teammate for a long amount of time, as we are stationary in the pits. Pit crew are apparently not ready, not working on the tyres, and we have lost about 8 seconds in the pits. It's been an awful pit stop from the crew.
Is this game okay?
We have lost 2 positions from this.
You didn't lose any positions.
I know, but still.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres.
What's in front go to?
Hard.
Confirmed.
However, we are now going to bunch up to the cars ahead on fresh mediums, and we're going to try and get some moves done as quickly as we can, looking for a good safety car restart onto the back of Samuel. What can we do on this restart? We try and get good power, good traction, try and get this run down turn 1, and we jump Samuel into the corner, but we cut the corner a little bit on the inside and we have to give the place back. But we're going to keep the pressure up into the next left-hander. Can we try and prepare the exit off the right onto the straight? We get nice traction out of the right-hander, and can we switch to the inside? Yes, we can. And down the inside of Samuel we go, down the main straight, and we can pull back onto the racing line into the braking zone, and that is up to P5 as the guys are fighting ahead. Vinco is on the hard compound tyres, and so he is going to be slower on the opening few laps as Concappa decides to send it down the inside. We are going to try and follow him through in the next couple of corners into the left-hander. Can we get early on the power? We're on fresher tyres. We're only half a tenth behind as we're going to go for the move round the outside of the right-hander, which will switch to the inside for the left-hander. But we miss our braking point and we almost crash into Concappa, and we are going to be under huge pressure with this poor exit from Vinco, who is going to deploy his battery, but we are also going to deploy ours to try and keep ahead, as we do not want to lose any time to this hard compound runner.
Yeah, but you half the battery in a lap.
As we have used a lot of battery to stay ahead here, but I think it is crucial, as we're going to try and stick with the lead guys. That is our first warning though. We do not want too many of them. As we move on to the end of lap 15, they go 3 wide into the chicane. Smoker and Concappa, that doesn't leave much room. We try and take advantage of this. We go to the outside, but Concappa squeezes us into the wall, which is not looking good for us, as now we have got damage. And it is going to be a long race from here on in. But we are still going to keep pushing forward We are not going to give up. Concappa goes a bit wide, and we are going to try and get the move on the next straight. Going to try and prepare our exit and try and get the move done. But Alessio's retired, and this is safety car again.
That's good.
Now we can get our wing changed, which is crucial for us if we want to be challenging for the podium. So we don't make sure we don't speed into the pits.
For 2 years.
And Infratic, our teammate, is going to make us get held again. This is not good. We are pitting to the soft tyres. It's going to be another long stop. This is just painful. We're watching the cars go past, losing positions, and out into the pits we go again.
Oh my god, and this guy can... Too bad Vinco's quicker than me anyway.
We lost some more positions under this safety car. Now we are going to try and get some moves done on these fresh soft tyres. If we want to be fighting the leaders, we want to get some moves done, as I think they are on the medium compound tyres, which will be more durable but not be as quick over the last couple of laps, over the first few laps. So me and Vinco are going to deploy our battery, but I go down the inside of Vinco, completely miss my braking point. I'm going to have to give that position back, which was pretty poor driving from me, especially as we need to work together with Vinco to try and get these moves done. With 6 laps to go, as Vinco is starting to make some progress on Tadpole, who has not pitted under the safety car. He is on very old tyres, and we are going to have a lovely run out of this corner. He gets a bit of oversteer, and we are going to reach up to 220 mile an hour as we are going to go down the inside of the final corner. Very tight stuff. He's wheel to wheel fighting, but we are going to get the move done up the inside. And can we press onto the back of Vinco? A bit of oversteer, but we are pushing hard to try and get these moves done as we are closing up to the cars ahead with 5 laps to go of this race. Vinco has lost a bit of time, and we are going to try and look to capitalise on this as he gets a little bit of oversteer into the final corner. Can we go for the switchback? Can we get on the power into this straight? But we do not want to fight him too hard, as we are both in the same strategy here. Have a little look down the inside, but there's contact into turn 1 and Concappa's round. Smoke has gone wide and we have been promoted to P4. He's still up our inside, so we have to leave the space, but we are going to get the power down on the exit and get the move done, as me and Vinco are now up into the podium places with 2 more cars ahead for the win. We are pushing hard as I get tucked in the rear by Smoker, but we do not go into the wall, thankfully. 4 laps remaining. Can we close up to the top guys? In this chicane, we are going to get better traction than the cars ahead, and we are going to close up as Naskai gets a bit of oversteer. Can Vinco capitalise on this? He's going to look for a move, but he is a little bit too far back, going into the left-hander. However, he is going to prepare the exit with the DRS on this main straight. Naskai runs a bit wide. Can we follow through Vinco into the next sequence of corners? This long straight, so much time to have the DRS open, reaching speeds of 225 mile an hour. We're going to go tuck into the slipstream of Naskai. Can we look down the inside of the left-hander? As we go and look down the inside, we tap Vinco, who brakes too early, and we do not leave enough room for Naskai, but he returns the favour, and we have lost some crucial time to the leader now, even though we're going to get this move done on the exit of the corner. We have 4 laps to go, and the gap is now up to 3 seconds to the leader. His tyres are only going to get better from here on, and we are going to have to push very hard to keep the gap to the cars behind. Try and break away from the DRS. This rear does not want to stick. The tyres are slowly fading away, the fresh softs, and we want to get back into the DRS of Vinco, which we do, but we have used most of our battery to do so. We're going to tuck into the slipstream, have a little look down the inside, but we are going to try and push forward and get the move done on Vinco on this lap. As he runs a bit wide, we are going to have much better traction as we can cut in, take a tighter line, and go for the exit. Go for the switchback, turn on the DRS, get in the slipstream, and we're going to make the move down the inside. However, we miss our braking point and we go straight on, and we've got damage. And this is not good now, with 2 laps remaining, 5-second penalty looming over us, and we are going to need to try and not battle with Vinco. There's going to be some silly games at the end of trying to get the DRS, as it is so powerful on this long back straight. But we are going to try and keep the gap and push on as hard as we can with a lap and a half remaining. Vinco has got DRS on the next straight, and he is going to go for the move on this exit. He's got more battery than us, and here he comes. We give a little wiggle, we're going to let him go and try and fight on the final lap for the second place on the podium. As here goes Vinco around the outside. We're going to tuck into slipstream, try and follow him through. However, Vinco brakes early again, and we almost go into the back of him. So we are struggling to get the power down on the exit. With the damage, we should not be as quick as we are, but we are keeping pushing to try and gain some crucial championship points to try and close the gap to the leader. We are only 12 points behind going into this race. After missing the first race, we are going to make a comeback, and we are going to turn on the DRS with our fight with Vinco, trying to keep with him to try and maybe make a move on the final lap. However, Vinco is driving beautifully up ahead, and as much as we are pushing, we have got damage, and he is driving nicely, and we are going to have to stick with him as best we can. However, into this left-hander, Vinco decides to let us go. He wants a DRS on the final lap. He's made his mind, and we are going to not fight this too hard, as we do not want to lose another place to the cars behind with the 5-second penalty looming over us. We go a bit deep into the final corner, but we try and get the power down, deploy the rest of our battery on the final lap. But Vinco has got DRS, and he is coming at a rate of knots, and he is going to get us down this main straight into the braking zone. We have deployed our whole battery, but it is not enough to keep ahead of Vinco, as he defends nicely, slows it down on the apex, and we cannot get a move done as we get on the power too early. The tyres are going off, but it has been a great race, great gain in the championship, and now we are in the fight for the lead of the championship.
Neither of them penalty worthy. I would message him now saying
Up to P3, we did not get 5 seconds in the end, and now we are within 6 points of the championship.